What's popping, my lily pops? Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. On this channel, we make inexpensive DIYs to care for natural hair. Caring not only meaning growing in terms of length, but overall maintaining the health of this hair. Today, we're getting into the worst trends of 2019 hair edition, my lily pops. Let's get into it. Let's pop off. Let's just say that it has been a long hair year, but the thing that has really just tickled me the wrong way the most is probably those $800 braids. And just in case you've never seen the braids before, here's the clip. They're extremely small and long. Ultimately, these braids, I'm talking about the tiny ones that come down really long, ridiculous investment in my opinion. I know that it is not my responsibility to pocket watch, to dictate what people spend their money on, or to even say what you should do, but I'm doing it anyway. I don't care. How many times have you gotten a hairstyle that is more simplistic, such as like box braids or lemonade braids, that's probably cost maybe $200 or under, and you've told yourself, I'm okay with spending this price because I'm going to keep them in for 6 to 8 weeks, I'm going to get my money's worth, and then you're at the 3 or 4 week mark and you're like, oh, I'm taking these out, my hair is frizzy, I want something new to do with my hair, I have something going on, I need a new hairstyle. That literally happens all of the time. So how does that change when you're spending like $800 on braids?
That it
really doesn't. And then I just have to talk about the piece of the financial position that something like hundreds of dollars on braids puts you in. A lot of the time, and I'm not targeting any specific groups, but sometimes the individuals that are going towards getting these braids, in my opinion, are sometimes the people that do not have the financial backing to make that type of a purchase. We need to stop oppressing ourselves and putting ourselves into the black hole way more than we need to. You're spending $800 on braids, but for some people that's their rent, or the area that I live in, that is not rent, but that is a good portion of my rent. This is money that you can put into a bank account. I know people are going to say, oh, that's money that you can invest, but let's be honest, everyone's not business savvy and everyone's not making investment moves like the media likes to portray. But ultimately, these are things that you could be spending to pay up a couple of bills in your house. So let's just make smarter decisions when it comes to the $800 braids and just leave it alone. Like, the braids are too long. Where are you going with trend that needs to stay where it's at is the hair salons basically saying, come with your hair wash.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro,
I don't know when that started. I don't know when stylists started thinking that certain things are not their responsibility. This is absolutely ridiculous. I am just a firm believer that a hair salon is supposed to do everything from start to finish. I should be able to come in with my hair in a disaster and I leave out not only feeling beautiful and aesthetics wise looking good, but overall with my hair being in either the same state, as in the same level of health as when I walked in, or at a greater level of health. I don't think that salons should be saying like, oh, you need to come with your hair washed. If your hair is not washed, we're going to do an upcharge and things of this nature. What are you guys doing? It's bad enough that we've been dealing with the a la carte or a la carte, however it's pronounced.
You done?
You fooled a lot of people with this, but you've not fooled me.
Are you done?
You've not fooled me.
I call it annoying. The fact that they're charging a price for washing, then if you want to condition, that's a price. Blow drying is a price by itself, and all of these other things. What happened to the bundle deals at the hair salon? I know that we're far-fetched from the idea of the press and curl, wash, blowout, hot oil treatment, and deep conditioner for all $50. I understand that we're far from that, but still the idea that you're telling people basically come with your hair halfway done or don't come at all is just crazy. It's even gone as far as me being online and seeing people that do hair services through like Style Seat or Book Me on Instagram, and they're basically saying come with your own combs, come with your own towels, come with your hair wash. If your hair's past this length, I'm charging you more. If your hair's not detangled, I'm charging you a $15 detangling fee. What? Leave that alone. this trend got me. I was very surprised by this. The use of rubber bands on the hair. Now, this is a throwback. What you know about me? What you know? And I could definitely appreciate this because when I was coming up, you know, in the early 2000s, all of us were getting like twisties, the little boxes in our hair with the different color rubber bands. That was the jam back then. But to see the use of rubber bands now, I don't care what people say, rubber bands are very breaking to the hair, especially for type 4 hair because we have kinks and coils. So the rubber bands, applying them, it's not an issue, but taking them out, you typically either have to cut them out where you're dealing with the potential of cutting your hair, or you have to try to yank them out. And our kinks and coils, those rubber bands, I don't know about you all, but they just don't slide off. So I think that's a risk altogether. The rubber bands, just leave them alone. This next trend is something that I have to keep it together on and has been happening way before 2019, but has been prevalent lately since Black Friday has just passed. And that trend is the harshness on Black-owned businesses. This is something that it just really grinds my gears to see it. I think I identify as Black.
I'd say I'm surprised, but I know who you are. I've seen it up close and personal.
And generational wealth is something that is not extremely prevalent within our communities, and with the idea of generational wealth that other races may have, it comes a way of them learning the practices and the best way to do things and how they perfect their products and perfect their customer service and, you know, their marketing outreach and things of that nature. It has come with practice. So as we see brands within our communities emerging, when you go from seeing someone selling something, if you had like a local fair in your community, or they're on Etsy, on Instagram, and then you move on and you're now seeing these brands aligning the shelves of your local Target, Sally's Beauties, and just in other retailers, establishments. It's something that's beautiful to see. And no, the money's not going into my pocket. So someone might be like, oh, why are you that invested? Is it your family's business? And I think this is a mentality we need to get away from. There is a way to give constructive criticism using proper platforms without publicly diminishing a company's overall presence, diminishing the work that they've put in their products.
I don't care.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not because you don't want Black people being out here?
It has nothing to do with their race.
Because I do understand that sometimes it seems like with larger brands, the only way you can get a response from them is to hop on their social media page because they don't want that bad press out there, and they'll be quick to respond to a comment. I definitely get it, but if that was your first go-to to get on social media and start saying things such as, this is why I don't do business with Black-owned businesses, I think that really speaks illy of where your mindset is and the fact that you would allow a bad experience with one brand to basically dictate how you're going to treat owners from an entire race when it comes to, you know, doing transactions with them. It's just not a good look. We need to figure out how we can uplift, how you can provide criticism. And honestly, if you don't want to spend your money with someone, just don't spend your money with them. Or if someone asks you for a recommendation and they brought up the brand and you wanted to say, I didn't have a good experience, that's appropriate. But the way in which we do things really needs to change.
That I was taking food off of your plate. And you were.
Comment are individuals that identify as Black as well. So I feel like it's a we situation. So let's be more cognizant of that. The next trend may ruffle some feathers, but I'm sorry, the dramatic edges have to go. I have let this trend rock for so many years and I've been so frustrated, even though again, it's not my hair, I'm very dramatic. I do not think that the dramatic edges are necessary, and also I'm not sure if this has a name for it, but when people put their hair in like a puff or a bun and then intentionally like pull out their sides or pull out the back to have that piece of hair have hair hanging, it's really not necessary. I think that tends to have like a very trendy look. I definitely understand that. That's all good and dandy. But I think that in certain settings, it really takes a look to a place where it doesn't need to be. And there's definitely been times I've been watching tutorials and someone's done a very nice, like sleek low bun or even a top knot bun. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really elegant. And then I see them go towards that toothbrush or that edge brush and they drag those edges out. I'm immediately clicking off.
Next question.
I have no rep for the drawn out edges. Cut it out. Next trend is the ridiculous styling tools. 2019 has been the year, now that I think about it, of like, you know, the tangle teasers and all these different type of renditions of the typical Denman brush and just different styling tools that have been out on the market. I don't think that these things are necessary. I think they're priced at absurdly high prices, do not do anything more than what probably your styling tool that you have at home does, and is marketed to have more durability than it actually has, and sometimes does not even work for, you know, coily and kinky hair. You all know, listen, I value my coin. I watch how I spend my coin. And if you think that you're going to tell me that this brush is going to do something spectacular for my hair, I don't know what to tell you. In my opinion, anyway, the best styling tool that you have, that you already own, and it's free 99, all you need, coupled with these babies, are some patience. All the things that the brushes claim to do, if you took your time and finger detangled, you can achieve the same things for your hair. It's not necessary to go out and get these styling tools. There was also this styling tool where you put a section of your hair into a machine, and then the machine so-called braids your hair itself. I wish I would put my hair into a styling tool. I'm so scared to put my hair into anything and then me lift it out and nothing comes back out. Oh no.
And then you're gonna work your way down and
2019, cut it out. To wrap this thing up, the last trend that needs to be left alone is the falsifying of regimens. And I'm especially talking to those people out there that have people that ask them, drop the skin regimen, tell me what you do with your hair and this and that. And then you start creating this elongated regimen that you know you do not do on your hair. And that is why when I'm sharing certain things on my channel, like for example, when I made the DIY flaxseed gel, go check that out by the way if you haven't. I said this is my first time making flaxseed, and it literally took me 3 times to get this consistency because I messed it up on 3 occasions. Or I shared a sweet potato strengthening mask, and I've only used that for a couple of times. So I'm going to come back probably early next year and really give my thoughts on what the benefit has been to my hair once I actually see some changes. Or if something goes wrong, I'll go back and share that. Hey, chill on the sweet potato mask. I'm not really feeling it anymore. And so I just say take things with a grain of salt. And especially if you want to try anything, make sure that you're trying slowly. Don't apply it to a full head. Don't apply things all over your skin if you're really into asking people their skin regimens. And I'll touch on that, although it's not hair related. You have to realize that some people just have like really nice skin, and nice skin to you can be the fact that it looks glowy all of the time. They don't have blemishes. Maybe they don't have like hyperpigmentation, and just all of the skin is one color. And there literally are some people that just put like a dollar store soap on their face and wash it off with hot water every day, and they have this glowy skin when you see them. Once you start asking like, oh, drop your skincare regimen, and then someone's posting like a 30 to 45 minute video of their skincare regimen, people, the reality is,
why you always lying?
That person probably does not take 30 to 45 minutes every single day on their skin. They have looked in their cabinet for samples they have received at kiosk in the mall, things that they have used in the past, and have now created this elongated regimen that is really not true. So just be mindful, take everything with a grain of salt for people that are consuming this information, and then also for people that are sharing it, just be honest. If it's your first time doing something, say it's your first time. If this is your skin regimen regimen on a weekly basis, not on a daily basis, be honest about that and just say it as well, because people are really taking in this information as facts, okay? So my Lily Pops, these are my trends of 2019 that need to stay where they're at. My Lily Pops, you know the vibes. Pop off.